Hey y'all, welcome to the Trademark Like a Boss show. I'm Radiance Harris, also known as the Trademark Goddess. I help emerging businesses protect, monetize, and grow profitable brands with trademarks. And today we are going to be talking about saving money and relationships. I have the amazing Clare Dubé with me, and I'm excited to have her in particularly because she was one of my first earlier clients 7 years ago when I launched Radiance IP Law. So I feel like we're coming full circle. If you're watching live, say hello, drop something in the comments. If you're watching the replay, be sure to drop the hashtag replay. So Clare, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Radiance. I am so glad to be here. And first of all, you've made it past the 7-year itch. Woohoo!
I know. It's amazing. And it's crazy how much
awesome?
time has flown. But I'm so excited to have you here and reconnect with you. And so please share with our viewers who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
So yes, Clare Dubé. I am a certified financial social worker and financial therapist. I do what you brilliantly helped me work through is I do SMARTchats, which is saving money and relationships together, play on words there, obviously. And I work with couples in money conflict. And boy, it's an amazing thing to do. Every client is different. So many stories out there, and it's seeing every relationship get reconnected is really gratifying.
I bet. Yeah, and I mean, I understand that, money is like the main cause or financial is the main cause of like divorce and relationship issues. So your SMARTchats method seems to be one of the solutions to remedying that problem, correct?
Yeah, well, I was one of your first startup clients, and I'm still going strong. So those 7 years, it's still the process still works.
Good. So yes. So tell me, what made you start SMARTchats?
So in my work, I found when meeting with clients and working with couples, we were having this dialogue and communicating back and forth. And there seemed to be a missing piece, something they could hold and work through. And the regular homework assignments and questionnaires that you'd send out, it just seemed to be missing the mark. And SMARTchats came up. So they are a communication tool. They are cards. There's 52 cards. And it doesn't necessarily have to be one per week, but it was kind of a play on different things that you could do once a week, have a financial date night. And there were questions that you could ask. And when it became a game, there wasn't any kind of confrontation of we need to talk. It was, okay, let's play this game because Clare gave it to us. So it gave it a little less tension between the couples.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean that's true. I guess it makes a serious subject not so serious when you make it into a game, right? So
Right. And you have fun with it. I mean, you can flick
yeah.
them and say 52 pickup, and you just pick up one card at a time. It's just just to put a little bit of an ease in talking about money.
Absolutely. So tell me, you worked with me through your trademark process, and like I mentioned, like you were one of my first few clients within the first few months of actually starting my business. So it was exciting. But what, and I guess, led you to deciding it was time to trademark SMARTchats?
So, some things just pop out at the right time, at the right place. And there was, I'm trying to think back exactly where it was, but I believe it was a Facebook post that you had. And I thought, oh, trademarking. And what really triggered it was there was a person who was in a networking group with me. And the woman that ran this group, her thing was she always talked about R&D, and instead of research and development, which it should mean, she called it rob and duplicate. And
What?
yeah, and one of her members did just that and started taking some of my stuff and making it as if it was theirs. Now, there aren't really any original ideas out there, and it's just original ways of sharing information.
Correct.
Like my work comes from people like Brad Klontz, Thomas Stanley, Amanda Ripley. I mean, like there are people that I have read their works and pulled things that resonated with me and then created my own work from that. So it's not like my stuff is all original. It's bits and pieces of other things that have resonated with me. And this person really was taking stuff like rinse and repeat of my own.
Yeah.
And I thought, this can't be happening. And you popped up at
Right
the
in
right time. And I need to meet this woman.
Yeah.
And that's where I realized that, you know what, you need to protect your information. You know, I did work hard on my processes and procedures.
Mm-hmm.
And for somebody to take it as if it's their own and not give me credit, you know, just isn't really a fair way
Yeah.
of doing
It's
business.
called intellectual property infringement.
Absolutely.
That's what it's called. Yeah, I find a lot of people kind of like are in your situation where there's an event that happens, and most likely someone is threatening to steal or has stolen, and then they're like, okay, let me go get this protected. Like that's a very common, I guess, trigger, if you will, for people to go and get their trademark. So you definitely did not hesitate and you started the process. So what made you decide to hire an attorney as opposed to like just figuring it out by yourself?
Because I know what I'm good at and I know what is not in my lane. And I am good with working with people with money. I'm good with money conflict. I'm not a lawyer. I don't play one on TV. And you know, I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions of the modern world. Like you can Google everything, and I suppose you can, but you get what you pay for. And I will say that this is an area where I don't want to mess around with. And, you know, by the way, my smart chats, I keep it up on my
I
wall as a
see
reminder.
it.
But
With the
there's
trademark.
rules and regulations. I mean, you have to do some follow up. It isn't a one and done that once it's done. And, you know, one of the things that I loved working with you is you were always way in advance giving me reminders of things. Okay, this is the next step that needs to be done. And I'm not talking, you know, 3 weeks, you know, 3 months ahead of time. I
Yeah.
mean, a good 9 months ahead of
Yeah.
time saying,
Right.
hey, you know, here's where we're at. That would be so off my radar. And
Right.
um, you know, I think that there's a place that you really need to invest wisely, and it's protecting your intellectual property. It's a very small price to pay to really make sure that you are protected. And like I said, it's not in my wheelhouse to do those things on my own, and I didn't really want to piece it together.
Right. And that makes sense. I mean, that's why I say, like, I guess when people are asking, like, do I really need to hire you, like, meaning a trademark attorney, I say, well, I mean, technically, you know, if you're a U.S. resident or U.S. citizen, you can file your own trademark. But the question is, do you want to actually do that? Like, wouldn't you rather focus and stay in your zone of genius? You know, there's a reason why I went to law school and then, you know, practiced trademark law for 13 years. It's not something that you kind of just, you know, just do naturally. And so it seems like for you, you wasn't trying to figure it out. You're like,
Yeah.
let me just hire the professionals and go about my business. And so that's the thing. You're coming up with your trademark. You're coming up on renewal, and
Yep.
so a lot of people don't realize. So yes, once you actually file your trademark and you're registered, there are some renewal, you know, things that you need to do to maintain the trademark registration. And so she's coming up on year 5 and 6 of her trademark registration. And so she has to file this renewal paperwork just saying, hey, I'm still in business. I'm still offering my product. And then that happens again on year 10 and then every 10 years thereafter. And so, yeah, she's coming up on her renewal soon, which is exciting. And congratulations to you for still
Thank
being
you.
in business and, yeah, moving and grooving.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear your, I guess, experience just from being in business, just being a business owner. What would you say are like is your biggest piece of business advice to someone who is either starting or at the very beginning of their business journey?
So, you know, ideally, if you know that you want to be going into business, start working on building up a cash reserve ahead of time so that you can make these investments to do things right the first time around. I mean, if you wouldn't give yourself open heart surgery, then this is kind of the same thing. You go to the professionals. It does make your life easier. And it's obviously I deal with money, so it's a thing, but this is so much not about money. It's putting the right procedures, policies, systems in place.
Right.
And not to hold yourself back from starting a business without having everything, but get a plan in action. And I will say trademarking, I have a product now that is mine, that I can show that I've put a lot behind it. It gives more credibility, I think, as well, to say that this is something that is not only that something I use, but it's been registered officially. So I think it gives credibility as well in the background.
Yeah, absolutely. When people see that trademark registration symbol, like, oh, she made the investment to actually protect, like she means business. She's serious about her business, So I think there's not only like business weight, but there's also legal weight, because people often ask me, like, what's the difference between the TM designation and the registration symbol? And I'm like, well, the registration symbol, you can only use that when you've actually secured a U.S. trademark registration. Anyone can slap the TM designation, doesn't really hold any legal weight. So, that's definitely one of the many benefits of having a trademark. So it has been delightful having you on today's show. I'd love for us to wrap up by you sharing anything that you're currently working on, and also letting our viewers know how they can reach you.
Sure. But before that, I just want to do one other thing and tell you. Okay. The other reason about working with you is SMARTchats was not the first name to it. And working with you, we went through, if you remember, there were probably about 12 different things that we were going through. And you were able to say, nope, it's too general. Nope, it's still this. And if I did it on my own, every time that I had applied it and it would have gotten denied.
Right.
Time is money, and boy, it would have been a waste. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I think people don't think about. It's not just coming up with a name or a product and just getting it. There's a lot of work behind it.
There's strategy. There's strategy. It's more than just filing the paperwork, which people think. There was actual strategy that we did.
Right.
For actually filing your trademark. But yes.
I thought you were going to fire me at one point because.
Really? No.
Well, can't we use it anyway? You had my back, and I appreciate it.
Yes, always, always.
Oh, so closing, how people can reach me? Very easy. My email, and it's my name, which is Clare@claredubé.com. And I'm here if anybody wants to ask questions about my experience and the trademarking. I'm an open book, and I'll share whatever.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Clare.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you guys for tuning in for today's Trademark Like a Boss show. I look forward to seeing you next week. I hope you have a wonderful, amazing Thanksgiving break. Until next time, take care. Bye.